Punk rock compilations are a beautiful thing, and were an even more beautiful thing in the pre-internet days when it was more difficult to be exposed to new music, giving more value to a new find. A YouTube or Spotify discovery is okay, but it just isn't the same. Let me indulge in some nostalgia for a second. The joy of purchasing an album in the form of the physical copy, be it LP, cassette, or for me, compact disc, because it has 3 of your favourite bands on, is a lost art. The perfect band that you didn't know existed are introduced to your ears and you excitedly scan the liner notes for details of the band name so you can see which albums they had out to give you a clue as to which album you would take a financial risk on. Are they a one-song wonder, or did they produce an album of killer material? It was a gamble you'd have to take, not only financially but temporally. Hopping on the bus to the nearest independent CD shop, which in our case was a 45-minute bus ride each way to hand you 15 quid over to take that musical risk. That commitment made finding your band that much more satisfying. Even if they did turn out to be a one-song wonder, at least you had a good day out with your mates. Everything is too easy now. Too much choice and too much instantaneous gratification has taken away a lot of magic in this world. We also had what this channel is named after: burnt discs. Friends carefully crafting their compilation CD gift to you with hours of consideration and homemade artwork, abided by strict rules such as no more than one song per band, whilst working out the order like an overly obsessed football manager tinkering with formations, making sure track 1 complements track 2. You'd have to consider different eras of punk production, so some of the 80s stuff didn't sound weak compared to fancy mid-90s punk explosion big budget albums. I don't know about you, but Spotify playlists just leave me a bit cold. The kids don't know what we're missing. I know I sound like a right boomer, but it's true. I've reviewed 2 compilations as part of my reviewing and ranking my entire CD collection thus far, and we've arrived at the 3rd one in my collection, Angry Scenes Volume 4. I've no idea why I don't own volumes 1, 3 and 5, or 2. 1, 2, 3 or 5. I think I ordered the Inner Terrestrials debut album from Righteous Anger Records about 10 years ago, and Matt Mischief of Global Parasite and of said records fame sent me 4 or 5 CDs on the house, and this was one of them. Cheers, Matt. Go and buy some stuff off from now. I'll wait here. Actually, subscribe, then hit pause, go shopping and come back. Off you go. You're back. Fantastic. So I don't know if you saw my previous compilation review, And You Call This Civilization. Angry Scenes Volume 4 is similar in that it came out in 2010, making me 14 years late to the party. It was released on Angry Scenes Records, and the CD is remembering Trog Contempt, who tragically passed away 2 years prior to the compilation's release. Like I did in the previous review, I'll go track by track. Track 1, Contempt, the Dog Song. Great choice of opener for this compilation. Hard-edged sing-along cockney punk with a simple yet effective breakdown. The bass sounds massive. I didn't really catch any of the lyrics, but it's sort of in the same vein as the Filaments. It was decent. Track 2, Drongos For Europe, Care With Complex. UK 82 punk from Birmingham with a heavy bass line similar to Contempt. I can tell both of these bands like Motorhead. The song should have jumped to a bridge instead of verse 3. Now we're on verse 4 and still not at a bridge. Their producer has let them down a bit there. He should have told them to cut a verse or 2 and whack a bridge in. The outro was cool though, and the band sounds like they've spent lots of money on decent amps. Track 3, Subhumans, Point of View. This song was on the previous compilation I reviewed. I still stand by being perplexed this song was chosen, as there are so many better songs on Internal Riot. I've said it before and I'll say it again. An average Subhumans song is better than most bands' best songs. Track 4, Oi Polloi, DIY. Scotland's greatest punk band, sorry the exploited, deliver what I believe will probably end up being the best song on this album. Classy drumming, frenetic guitars, and a voice suited to punk perfectly. Apparently it's not about being a DIY punk. I'll let you Google what it's about. One of the best punk bands the UK has produced at the top of their game. Track 5, Left for Dead, 1984. The intro sounds like Weezer after 10 protein shakes and kicks into a Let's Go Rancid era ditty. The production doesn't go with the song. It's too crusty for the melodic pop punk tune that's been written. This one passed me by. Track 6, R.A.M.A.N. Is it R.A.M.A.N? R.A.M.A.N. Is this the cue for insurrection? This is an album littered with humongous sounding bass players. I just wish the guitar was as crisp as the bass. It's a cockney punk toe tapper. The chorus was anthemic. I like R.A.M.A.N and I recommend you listen to them. Right, I'm going to butcher this. Track 7, Rasta Knast, Fury. Is that? I don't know. Fury. Rasta Knast, Fury. Memorable guitar riff. It sounds like East Bay Ray if he had guitar lessons in Egypt. Imagine if the Addicts were German but they added that hardcore punk drumming. This makes for a great musical concoction. Track 8, War/System Overload Remix. These are a bit sloppy and the vocals are a bit growly and samey. For fans of New York hardcore. I listened to this twice and it wasn't as bad as I made out the first time. This also goes very Motorhead towards the end. Shades of overkill. The song, not the sense of repetition. Track 9, The Restarts, The Pied Piper. Friends of the channel The Restarts give a Ramones meets Casual Nausea fun little ditty. I could be wrong, but at the end of the song is a nice little tribute to Spider. I've never heard these type of grindcore punk vocals go with this type of pop punk before. It works really well. Well done Restarts. You can share this video on Facebook again. Track 10, Indecent Assault. Yeah, it's good. It reminds me of Anti-Nowhere League for some reason. It's a really solid punk song. Not much else to say. It does the job. Track 11, Eastfield, Shake It Up. Traditional pop punk in the true sense of the genre, e.g. Buzzcocks. This is really catchy, you only need to hear it once and will remember it easily. Nice to hear some female vocals. I hadn't noticed what a sausage fest this compilation had been until this song. That's not a bad thing or a good thing, just an observation. Track 12, The Usual Suspects, Boys in Blue. Some decent ska to break up all the punk we've had. This is the band Leftover Crack should be and it sounds great. Another example of great bass playing on this album. The breakdown in the middle is pure theatre, complete with police sirens and choppers. It sounds huge and amazing. This is miles better than they're offering on the Pumpkin Records compilation. I will be digging out some Usual Suspects after this review. Track 13, Alcohol Licks, Pajama. I don't really like anything pirate related and I got pirate punk vibes in the intro and the track never recovered. I just feel like it didn't really go anywhere and it's probably about 3 minutes too long. Sorry Alcoholics. Good name though. Track 14, Edict of Intolerance, No Arbitrary Mind. Really chaotic, really sloppy, in a good way, fast as punk. Female vocals a bit like Emasculator. Huge sounding, albeit brief bass section. It's good. Track 15, Descent to Hell, it. This is the deepest in pitch on the CD so far. Probably drop D, maybe even drop D flat, or C sharp if you're feeling fruity. It's 68% metal and 32% punk. It's a bit like The Exploited but deeper. The breakdown hardcore section sounds like that Music Idiots windmill too. Not sure what you call that. It's not really my thing, it's alright for what it is. Track 16, Autonomads, GMP. Manchester Anarcho Ska. I'm not a huge fan of long intros. The presence of sax is the standout point on this. It took a while to get to the chorus and the song went up drastically in my estimations when it dropped. I wasn't as keen on the verse. It's not the best Autonomads song I've heard. I do like them though and I have 2 CDs by them, so watch out for those reviews soon. Soon. Track 17, Done to Death, We Know What. Cheesy gang vocals. It sounds like the first riff every punk band that's ever started out plays in their first rehearsal. Early noughties and Cocksparrow vibes, but not as good. Sorry gents. Track 18, Rotten Agenda, The Driver's Seat. This is cool, it's like early Subhumans but not political. Yeah, it's good, it's a standard 1 minute 30 something atypical punk song that you can put on at a party. Track 19, Global Parasite, 7-7. When they appeared on the last comp I said I wasn't going to review music by friends because I'd rather just enjoy it than critique it. And not that it's awkward, I'd rather enjoy stuff my friends have put out. I mean, I've watched Dave Cox playing bands since 2001, Chinese Chicken Balls, Floater's Revenge, The Cox. I'm rambling. This is a different version of 7-7 that appears on their proper album and it's cool to hear this version of Dave doing the outro Dick Lucas ended up doing. A heavy subject in comparison with the previous songs on the compilation. Definitely go and listen to Memento Mori if you haven't already. Track 20, Police Kept Down. It can't decide if it wants to be an anarcho song or a hardcore punk song. Similar to the likes of Drongos For Europe. Fits really well with the rest of the album. I don't really listen to New York hardcore, but it's got that breakdown feel about it. Track 21, Tan, Go Home Paddies. Big sounding hardcore punk. Loving the Irish accents on this. Doesn't seem faux Irish like some bands. Need more of this in my life. One of the better songs on the album. Track 22, The Obnoxious UK, Ginger is a Werewolf. This is like the Undertones but a lot less polish and more edge to it. The production on it isn't the best. Chorus reminds me of, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one, for some reason. The production let it down a little bit. Track 23, Rejected, Enslaved. I'm getting a bit punked out now, and that's no fault of the Rejected because this is actually half decent. Having listened to punk for 24 years now, I feel like I've completed it, and I would be content never hearing it again. That said, I am making a listening to the Crass's entire discography video at the same time as this, so that might have something to do with it. Anyway, I digress. It's tight, it's good, but this reviewer is tired. 3 more to go. Track 24, Comply or Die, The Right. This had a cool guitar lead, reminiscent of that album Jello Biafra did with DOA, but replaced Jello with Oki from Instant Agony / Biteback. Yet another good solid punk track. Track 25, Fishbowl Riot, Well It's Your Life. Guitar sounding a bit weak unfortunately, and it's a bit too fast for its own good. Unexpected Black Flag type breakdown in the middle crossed with AOS 3, that was pretty cool. I'd like to see these guys live, it sounds like it would be fun. Track 26, last track, Fleas and Lice, Royal. This is a live recording. Crazy fast and mixed pretty badly. Deathcore metal punk. Good energy, it would have been cool to have been there, I'm sure. Vocals are a bit much for me. For some reason, Casual Nausea are the only band I like with those type of vocals. Can someone pass this on to them and tell them of this accolade, please? Thanks. It's a solid punk album, albeit with less variety than the Pumpkin Records one I reviewed. There's lots of Lemmy-esque bass-driven punk rock and roll that I can get behind, and I look forward to seeking out more Usual Suspects, Chan, R.A.M.A.N. Is it R.A.M.A.N? And Drongos For Europe, hopefully with more bridges. I'll give this a 6.8 out of 10. It's a solid album with replay value and fewer skip songs than other compilations. I'm going to sandwich this in between Andy T and Christina Aguilera. Wow, what a sandwich that is. This could have been higher, but like I said earlier, I am doing a video at the minute listening to all the Crass albums, so I'm just totally punked out. I'm sure if I was listening to something else, it might have scored a bit higher. That's why I'm looking forward to doing a bit of Mose Allison in the next one, because that's something completely different. Right, so here's an update of the charts. So number 14, AFI December Underground. Number 13, The Addicts with 27. Number 12, And You Call This Civilization, a punk compilation that's been disqualified. Number 11, we've got AFI with Sing the Sorrow. Number 10, Akala, Freedom Lasso. Number 9, Andy T, Life at Tether's End. Number 8, new entry, Angry Scenes Volume 4, but it's been disqualified because it's not a real album. Number 7, Christina Aguilera was Stripped. Number 6, All Mass Murder. Number 5, Adele 21. Number 4, Almeida, Social Media Circus. Number 3, Afro Cluster, We Don Land. Number 2, All Hallows. And in at number 1, the American Hardcore Punk Compilation. But that's disqualified because it's not a real album. We're only putting real albums there. So technically AFI is number 1. Thanks for listening. What's the best volume of Angry Scenes? What's the best compilation? What's the best punk compilation you have in your collection, official or otherwise? Do you yearn for the days of burnt discs? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. You lovely lot subscribed in your dozens in the last video, and it would be great to keep that up. So if you could like and subscribe, that would be absolutely amazing. Love you all. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.